A warm welcome to one and all. I am Madhurita from Greater College of Education and I am here to speak about Nai Talim. Education helps for overall development of a person. It facilitates to develop the mind, body and soul. Gandhiji believed that education should be easily accessible to all people. In pre-independence era, education was monopoly of a few, especially the higher caste people. Most of the villagers were either laborers or skilled people who were illiterate. Their children too were not having access to education. They were learning skills through observation. Gandhiji used to say that children should be taught the dignity of labor. Literacy education should follow the education of the hand. According to Gandhiji, education means an all-round development and drawing out the best in a child, that is, the body, mind and spirit. Literacy is not the end of education nor even the beginning. It is only one of the means whereby man and women can be educated. Literacy in itself is no education. What is Nai Talim? The phrase Nai Talim is a combination of two words. Nai means new and Talim is an Urdu word which means education. In 1937, Gandhiji introduced the concept of Nai Talim in India. He believed the importance of role of a teacher in the learning process. According to him, learning-teaching process can become fruitful if teacher and learner are at the same understanding level. In other words, in teaching-learning process, teacher-learner should learn from each other. They should have mutual understanding. They should respect each other. Nai Talim focuses on the development of the head, heart and hand. It believes in inseparable relationship between the work and intelligence. In other words, it insists on learning by doing. Background of Nai Talim. In the early 20th century, India had different social structure where illiteracy, casteism, exploitation were prevalent. Gandhiji wanted to bring radical change in the existing society. Majority of people were poor and illiterate. They were from the lowest strata in the hierarchy of the caste system. Major occupation of them was handicraft. They were involved in various crafts such as spinning, weaving, pottery, leatherwork, etc. In each of these crafts, there was monopoly of specific caste groups who knew the process of production of these crafts. Many of these people belonged to the category of untouchables. To bring social transformation and make education available to all, Gandhiji introduced Nai Talim. He believed that such education will make villages self-reliant. Nai Talim aimed at personal development and social development. Rather, personality development was a precondition for social development. Here are some of the images of the various crafts people were involved in, such as spinning, weaving, pottery, making of jute bags, and other handicraft items. Thus, the aim of education moved from personal to social development. There were two purposes of education, namely Gram Vikas, that is village development, and rural development, that is your Gramin Vikas. Lakhs of villages in India were in pathetic condition. Problems such as uncleanliness, poverty, lack of resources, unemployment, illiteracy, and superstitious beliefs, inequality, and casteism were prevalent. This made rural India weaker and vulnerable. Gandhiji wanted to attack all these socio-economic issues. This required preparing a youth with proper understanding of problems and capacity to solve them confidently. Here you can see the pathetic conditions of rural India. Gandhiji thought through Nai Talim, youth will be trained to bring revolutionary change in rural India. Such generation will not be dependent on anybody and they will be independent and work for the welfare of the society. The other side of Nai Talim was to bring a just society where nobody will be oppressed. Everyone will be equal, truly a democratic society. There won't be rich-poor class, no distance between cities and villages, no discrimination between a person doing intellectual work and manual work. No religious caste differences, no differentiation based on language, class, caste, etc. Hence, Gandhiji insisted on local handicraft with education. The concept of Nai Talim. Gandhiji introduced the concept of Nai Talim in 1937. It aimed to achieve Gram Swaraj. Gram means village and Swaraj means liberation. In short, Gandhiji dreamed to make all villages independent and self-reliant. It is an approach to the total personality development of the body, mind and spirit and was based on the four principles. Panse 2007. They are namely the first one, education or learning in mother tongue along with handicraft work. Second one, work should be linked with the most useful vocational needs of the locality. Third one, learning should be linked with vocational work. And fourth, the work should be socially useful and productive needed for living. This approach of work-centric education with technology accessible locally was basic approach of Nai Talim. Nai Talim had inherent philosophy of non-violence, equality and oppression-free society. Nai Talim is also known as Bunyadi Shiksha, which means basic education. He defined education as education for life and education through life. Gandhiji initially focused on education of children. He firmly believed that medium of instruction of education should be in the mother tongue. Education in vernacular medium will be beneficial to the deprived society. The curriculum should be integrated with local crafts education and should be accessible to all. He rejected bookish education and insisted on practical learning. The main tools of Nai Talim were handicrafts, art, and drawing. In Nai Talim, more focus was on skills. It proved that without books, one can teach all subjects. Any handicraft can give thorough comprehensive knowledge. By involving oneself in craft, one can prepare one's body and also simultaneously develop intellect. Gandhiji believed that Nai Talim will result in self-reliance of children as well as the villages. Students will become independent immediately after completion of their education. They will stand on their own. In Nai Talim, knowledge and work are considered as two sides of the same coin. Work gives knowledge, and through fruitful knowledge, work happens. Due to integration of work and education, intelligence develops. Students learn how to get information and actually uses it. Nai Talim is need-based education. Only alphabet reading and writing will not achieve intellectual growth. Thus, in Nai Talim, hand, eyes and mind is involved simultaneously. Once children are clear about the concepts, reading and writing is introduced. Teachers engaged in Nai Talim require true zeal to work hard. They have to think out of the box. They should be clear about what is going to be taught. Hence, teachers need to develop their observation and thinking capacity. In other words, the teachers must have to develop innovative teaching methods and practice them. Nai Talim was actually a new approach to basic education. In this approach, the curriculum used was different than in the regular schools. The curriculum was prepared in such a way that craft was integrated in it. This prepared the children for their life. Gandhiji comprehended Nai Talim as a craft-based education. It focused on practical skills. He believed that this education will lead towards development of people, spiritual, cultural, and social. Literacy, along with other subjects, can be taught through this method. Actually, this is an interdisciplinary approach of education where all the subjects are taught in the context with. Learners immediately apply the knowledge learnt in their day-to-day life. To summarize it, Nai Talim is not a fixed system, method or curriculum. It is a philosophy of learning and living and not just pedagogy. It is not restricted to any vocation. It is a flexi approach which can be molded as per the local requirements. It has two main components, namely, the first one, holistic development of an individual. Second one, developing non-violent, just, cooperative and sustainable society. Various individual activities that can be carried out. The first image we can see making of jute bags. Second one, tailoring. Here are more individual activities. Making of masks, carpentry, pottery, other handworks and also cookery. Here are the various social group activities such as cleaning your locality or picking up garbage, planting of trees, distributing of books or clothes, distribution of buttermilk, women education. Finally, the learning objectives. At the end of this module, the learner will be able to 1. Explain the concept of Nai Talim. 2. Analyzes the role of education in all-round development of human being. 3. Explains the importance of Nai Talim in adult education. Thank you and have a great day. I hope this session will definitely help you.